Raise your horns high and let your spirit flow. It's the classic metal wrap-up show. Feel the rush, let the loudness grow. It's the classic metal wrap-up show.
Jizzy Pearl. He doesn't like Jizzy Pearl, I think.
I don't really either. I didn't really know Jizzy that well. I'm not a love-hate fan, but again, I met him on the Adler's Appetite thing, and he was. I'm allegedly, my assumption, my opinion, however you want to say it, was he was high and drunk and just acting creepy, and it weirded me out. And if it made Steven Adler seem normal to me, then that tells you how far out Jizzy was acting. You know what I'm saying? Jizzy was on another thing going there. So I don't know what he was doing or where he was at in life, but it was weird and it kind of creeped me out. And he's kind of rude, and which I get. I'm a dude. He's not interested in a dude. He's trying to find chicks. But you know, looking back, it's like now I think about it, he's like in his mid 40s, and he's like, you know, drooling and creeping and lurking on chicks at the bar that I think were barely 21 or 22. And this is one of those places where those chicks weren't there for Adler's Appetite. The music venue space was this big room off to one side with the stage and everything. But there's other rooms where there's pool tables and then the main bar area. And there's other people who just come to the place because it's a Friday or Saturday night, no matter what band's playing, to shoot pool and drink and whatever. And I don't think these chicks had any clue who had just played in the other room or whatever, or they seemed too young to be, they weren't coming over for autographs. But he was lurking around the bar, and I'm just saying, dude, I don't know what you're up to that age, Izzo, but it was weird and it seemed creepy to me. I just don't like his style of videos. I'm just being straight, man. The way he does the whole does his hand signals, brings in these other clips and stuff, and he never. He's always looking away, like he's looking up at the sky or somewhere else. I get weirded out by people that don't make eye contact. I know you guys don't like that about me, but that's because I can't see without these glasses. And if I wear my other glasses, it's really not going to give it.
Right.
So, so.
What kind of an asshole? What kind of an asshole wears sunglasses indoors?
Douchebags do that.
And then we deliver like 3 or 4 pictures of Neely wearing sunglasses.
Over and over and over indoors, Dawn on stage with sunglasses indoor. You know, this is very common for, people ask me, why do you wear them when you play on stage? And I say, well, honestly, as a musician, there's times where my eyes are closed as a bass player. I'm locking in with what's behind me on the drums. And I don't need you to stare at my closed eyeballs while I'm standing on stage trying to be in time and in space with the song. So I think Ray Charles and everyone's done it for a reason. Some were legit reasons, and some were just because they wanted to hide behind the shades. But anyways, beyond that, I think he got his rants out about Jizzo. I just, if he I'm not a love-hate fan, so that makes it weird. I don't really think he's the best fit for Quiet Riot. And if I was Rudy, I'd be shopping for somebody else myself, but that's just me. And for sure, when you get into that band right now, there's 2/4 of that band that Andrew's definitely going to not have any favorable commentary about between the guitar player and the front man. So in my case, I just look at it as like, hey, there's just some things. I mean, I don't know, name an artist or two, you just don't like their music, don't really care. Why would you want to engage in more of them? I was bringing it up because it comes by on my YouTube scroll as I look up a Black and Blue, or I'm watching Warrant, or I'm watching whatever I'm watching. It'll in some point interject Quiet Riot with Jizzy or a Jizzo J Pearl TV thing, because I've been watching Jason Green and I've been watching Ferentinos or whatever, and it wants to sub in these guys of that genre. YouTube knows where I'm going, and so I go, oh god. And the other day it was on in the background as I'm doing something, so I'm hearing Jizzy talk, and I'm like, what is he talking about? Why turds and trolls? If they don't matter, why would you make a video about them? Right. So he's reading the comments and reading what he said back.
But you know, the good thing about him is his videos are relatively short. So that's a plus.
He keeps it about 10 to 15, 20 minutes
15,
tops,
20
which
minutes.
is smart.
Yeah, which is the way to go.
And again, there's people out there that want to watch him, have at it. I can't. Sometimes I find myself like with Ferentinos, I can only watch so much, and then I'm off to the next thing. I'm one of those people that there's very few channels that I just go back to and have to watch all the videos. And
like the Guru.
No.
Oh, the
Mr.
guru.
Guru and your 4-hour dissertations. I'm good on that.
Yeah.
I already have to get through 4 or 5 hours of CMS still. So
Oh, no shit.
that's the chain around my neck. I don't need more chains around my
Right.
neck. I go to the Guru when he has shorter interviews or something with someone I definitely feel like I can sit that long or a good portion, maybe a half hour, 45 minutes, and actually hear this guy talk that long.
Yeah.
But no, I find a lot of his interviews is he just lets the guy rant and go on and on. He goes, yeah, oh yeah,
Yeah.
for sure, yeah,
Yeah.
like Aiken does. And so after
Yeah.
a while, I'm like, well, hey, you're not. This is an interview. This is just this guy telling his life story or whatever. So
Right. Right.
I get the audio book of that there,
Yeah,
Guru.
no shit. Oh, well, I think
Let's go over it. We have a lot to talk about. Let's just start with this because
Okay,
hold on,
go for it.
People have been asking me where you have been. Why was I on last night without you?
And
where have we been in general because we were gone?
What about Bob Leather saying? I think he was talking about Andrew, right? He goes, "The guy with the long hair needs to shave."
No, I think he was saying.
Oh, he's
me.
talking about you.
Yeah, he doesn't like the beard on me. He's anti-beard. Anyone that has a beard, Bob is not going to trust you initially.
Oops.
He doesn't like your look. He's going to try to get you some razors for Christmas. He wants clean cut 80s rock guys. This is why Ron Keel's gone sideways. Exactly, because he had some facial hair. So no, that was a shot at me, but I love Bob and Bob loves me. We text all the time, so
Yeah.
you just have to understand that Bob's going to offend everyone in the room, not just you.
Oh, yeah.
It's just the way it's going to go. So
Yeah. Oh.
yeah.
Yeah.
So they were all asking. I had DMs. I had posts on the Facebook group saying, "Where's the wrap up show?" I had text, and Bob Leather texted me saying, "Where's the wrap up show?" So.
Bob. Well, there you go. Bob Leather watches, huh?
I'll speak my piece. The first week that we were MIA, we were about to go on the air when a plumbing fiasco hit my homestead on the primary master bedroom shitter, which is my shitter, my shower area. And when you're going to get ready to go to work for a night shift and the toilet slash sink slash showers not flowing properly, you got problems. We got problems I got to solve pretty quickly. So that became an issue for me, and that threw off that show. And by the time we got around to try to catch up with Ruben and do something, tragedy struck while he was in Poop City.
Yeah. In Poop City. Yeah. Well, yeah, I had I made the mistake of waiting almost till the last minute to do Christmas stuff. And I wound up basically what happened is I wound up having car troubles, and I wound up getting towed back to town, and then that kind of screwed up that plan. And then since then, it's been like trouble with the loaner car. So what the fuck? And then
when it rains, it pours.
Yeah, it rains, it pours.
Especially in Oregon.
Yeah, no shit.
I don't know about you up there, but we are getting hammered down here right now. It is.
Well,
I haven't seen the ditches in front of my property that's full of water in quite a while.
Right.
So.
And then we had 3 inches of snow on, what was it, Tuesday. So there you go.
Yeah. So that's where we were. Had to take 2 weeks off to get our personal shit together. But while the CMS is now going to be on break for the next 2 to 3 weeks, we're going to be bringing you content. That's what we're doing here now. And these will be trickling out all through the holiday week and into the next week and the new year. So, and on that note, we can say that, I don't know I know you were a little busy last night. Me and Andrew were catching some of the CMS, and couple of very, I think, important notes for you out there that we need to wrap up here. That's what we're here for. That's what younger brother evil is here to do, is to make sure we point out some of the things that older and I finally got Studio A back, as you can see, because he was using it last night. So I was in Studio D or wherever I was. One, Neely is going to spend his birthday, Christmas, and the holidays in Chicago. He got some sweets for everyone, and his date for the event. Who do you think that would be?
Well, it's not Taylor, because I think Taylor's been mysteriously absent, unless they have a code name for her now.
No mention. His date will be Sal.
Oh,
and so
he's finally coming out of the closet.
I guess so. But so yeah, that was interesting because we were waiting for the mention. If you're going to be in Chicago for 2 or 3 nights, staying in a suite, and you're eating dinner at the fancy restaurant for your birthday and the holidays, you would think there's going to be a sighting of Lady Taylor, and she's
Nothing.
MIA, ladies and gentlemen. I think for at least 6 or 9 months now, we have not heard a speck or a peep about Taylor.
Right.
And he then went
Yeah.
on to mention that he went to the John Bush show. Again,
Oh,
who do you think should be at the John Bush show at the Arcata Theater besides Sweepy Sweeperson, who we know
yeah.
was in the house?
You would think Taylor would be there doing photography, doing her brilliant photography.
So I reached out to Sweepy, and Sweepy confirmed no Taylor.
No Taylor.
Neely was
Nothing.
in the house with what do you call him? Stinkfoot, Clawfoot?
Stinkfoot. It's
Something.
not Bumblefoot. It's not Bumblefoot.
some foot guy from the
What was it?
CMS.
What was the? I do know. Maybe it was Scarfoot. Wasn't it?
Scarfoot? Yes, he
Scarfoot?
was. That's the
Scarfoot.
name. There you go. I couldn't
Scarfoot.
think
That's
of
what it is.
Stinkfoot. I kept saying Stinkfoot. I get the
Same
Frank
difference.
Zappa song. It's stuck in my head.
Same difference, though. I mean, come on.
Yeah,
What
so
a fucking.
whenever I think of that anything with foot at the back end, Zappa's face pops
Yeah.
in my head singing
Yeah.
Stinkfoot immediately. So I just
Not
go,
chicken
Stinkfoot.
foot.
No, yes, Scarfoot was his date to the Arcata Theater in John Bush, and yeah, so between Sal and Scarfoot, it's
Right.
very clear that there's no Taylor in the picture here. He's
That is bizarre, and especially for such a coxman like Neely.
well, I pound the pussy, Reuben. Don't you understand? Like my father taught us, Father Dayton taught us all to do. So I'm going to tell you right now, I think she got a new dude.
Oh yeah,
Guy more her age, guy with a little more loaded in Chicago,
Yeah.
with a fucking condo upstairs, and a
Younger
high-rise,
guy.
and, yeah, taking her dinner every night, not just
Yep.
once every 3 or 4 weeks,
Right.
and
not a bit.
actually going to stay over.
Yeah,
might be
not a
willing to
business
actually,
arrangement.
Exactly.
Wait,
So-
don't you think Neely's song should be like theme song should be like the Aqualung?
Absolutely, yes. So Jethro Tull will
Yeah.
stick right in there.
Oh man.
So yeah, go ahead.
Well, I was going to show you this because, speaking of the Arcata, because he was bragging, was he not, that
Mhm.
he was his new friend Charlie Benante.
Charlie Benante was
Yeah,
in the
because he
house.
was and
Standing
he was
next to him.
brag-
Yes, and
standing
Scarfoot,
next to him.
yes.
So, but
Which can I be honest with you real quick?
Yeah,
Let me say
go
this. If I'm in the crowd and I see Charlie Benante, Charlene Benante, as
Charlene
Milano
as
Mr.
what's his
Milano
face?
would call
Yeah.
him to his face, probably to his face. I almost can guarantee it.
Oh, yeah,
I'd be looking past him for the chick.
for Carla. Yeah, Carla.
Yeah, don't you
And
follow me? Like my interest isn't Charlie. Hey, Charlie, how's it going? Where's your old lady? Because she's
Yeah.
hot.
And she's
I'd be
tiny,
looking at.
dude. I think she's
Yeah, that's my point.
she's like barely 5 feet tall. I mean,
every time
because I've met her a handful of times, but
I've seen
and
some
she's super
pictures of her
nice.
with other people, and
Yeah.
you can see she's just. But yeah, that's what I would be like. Hey, guys,
Right.
and Neely made no mention whether she was there or not, which I thought was weird. I was like, well, she must not been there then, because I mean that chick's pretty
Right.
hot. Is she standing next to Charlie, a person over from you? I'm gonna be eyeballing that piece of ass all night. So
Right.
I'm just saying, I wouldn't be disrespectful to Charlie. I'm just saying that's eye candy, and
Right.
I might not be looking at John Bush in a Chicago Bulls
Right.
jersey.
Right.
And don't get me wrong, Bush sounds great. His voice is solid,
Yeah.
man. They're just getting old like everybody else.
Sure.
I'm kind of glad he's doing this because I kind of hope this is him maybe kind of putting a bow on this whole stuff here, in my opinion. But
Yeah.
because dude, like, and then Neely goes, he's blowing
Speaking of
Belladonna out
blowing,
of the water or whatever. Yeah,
he's blowing who out of the water?
Belladonna. He thinks
Oh,
that Bush in
That's
this
two
is
different
blowing
singers. That's like comparing Roth and Hagar, right? I mean,
I was telling Andrew this. I don't mind me some John Bush.
Right.
For me, it's the sound of white noise,
Sure.
and we come for you all. I don't like a lot of the stuff in the middle. I find only a few tracks in each album that I can.
Well-
but those two, for the ones at the beginning and end, for me, there were like very,
Yeah.
very solid albums. And I'm just saying, like, to try to compare what Belladonna and the True Anthrax is doing compared to this at the Arcata Theater, the 800 people. That is not. This is like apples and oranges. What are you talking about, dude?
right? Is it? Yeah. But anyways, and the thing is I don't think the way I see it is, I like the John Bush stuff, but I don't like Bush performing Joey stuff. It just doesn't sound
Yeah.
right. Yeah. And
Yeah.
likewise, it would be weird for Joey to do any stuff from the Bush era. That's why I think the only tune they've ever done with Joey's been Only off
Only.
Only
Yeah.
Sound of White Noise. So
And I'm going to be honest. I'm going to be honest here, ladies and gentlemen. I think Joey sings that pretty damn good.
yeah,
And I
he
actually,
does.
in my mind, I'm like, that's the one Bush song that Joey can do some justice to, and they can kind of put in the set without it sounding.
Right.
And that's no knock on Joey. That's just two different, but I'm just saying that one. And so that kind of proves to me in my mind that, well, so I'll just, this would be a credit to Charlene Benante and
Charlene.
Mr. I'm Mr. I'm too busy.
Right. Busy.
But they actually proves that they can write songs almost
Right.
doesn't matter which guy is on the vocals here. It's going to sound pretty badass if it's Only or one of these songs that they've written that's just killer. So
Right. But here we go. You can see this, right? This is the Blabbermouth article where they're talking about the St. Charles, which is at the Arcada. John Bush performing Anthrax stuff. And then we have your brother here. Look, he snuck into this KNAC.com photo. Look at that.
yeah,
There he is.
there he is. There he is
with
the hair.
with the band.
He's got the hair pulled back in a ponytail. And,
Right.
I don't see Clawfoot, but I see everybody else here.
Well, Clawfoot is probably over here. He got cropped out, I think. It's just too big of a
So, real quick, can you tell me who is on? Is that is Orlando
in the band, you mean?
Yeah. Yes.
So this is
Confirming-
Phil Demmel from
Demmel, yes.
Machine
I
Head.
know. I know. Yeah, I'm a Bay Area guy. I don't know Phil,
This
but that's
is
Orlando, right?
Mike Orlando, who was in
Yeah, yeah.
Adrenaline Mob.
Yeah,
Obviously,
that's Old Man Bush.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bush. That's the drummer. I think.
I was wondering who that was. I didn't.
I think that must be the guy that used to drum in Overkill, who was also in I forget the name.
Shadows Fall. It's
Shadows
Bittner.
Fall. Yeah, correct.
I'm just not recognizing him because he's got a beanie cap and
Right,
I'm seeing
right.
he looks older without his hair.
Yeah.
I'm used to seeing him with long
Yeah,
hair
yeah.
down.
And then
That's throwing me off.
Joey
Gotcha.
Vera,
And Joey
who's
Vera,
in
yeah,
Armored
Joey,
Saint.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
But no,
and
I mean, what a
was
solid band.
Filled in
I
an
mean,
Overkill too. Yeah.
which this is basically Category 7, that super
Yeah.
group that they put together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
and there's
Which
your
is
brother
not a
sneaking
bad
into
show.
the photo.
I can see why my brother was so enamored with the show.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying it was bad. I've watched some of the video. It sounds pretty solid. I'm just saying, like, you know,
Do you
you
think
put Anthrax on stage at the next venue over.
Right.
If everybody's sitting through this, they're going next door to see. I'm going to see
Yeah.
Anthrax, dude. Come on.
do you think your brother's like, no, Clawfoot, get my buddy, my bro Charlie in the photo?
I don't think Charlie's interested in taking pictures with people of feet in their name.
You have to look at this though. I had to chime in. I think you saw this where I said I can't spot Grandpa Neely standing next to Charlie Benante. And then one of the CMS tards had a good. That means your dumbass isn't blind, just stupid. I mean, these white knights of the CMS.
Yeah.
They're funny.
Like, yeah. Again, well, we're gonna get into some stuff later because we got a lot of stuff over the next couple of weeks to go over. But one of the things I was discussing with Andrew is the fraud that is my older brother, and I will expose the fraud further. And he thinks that the battle's almost over, but for us, the battle's just begun, really, because YouTube has replaced reinstated all of your old videos, all of your old audio, all of your old clips. So we now have thousands of hours of CMS nonsense to comb through where you said some dumbass shit,
Right.
and we're going to expose it. And I'm going to also expose the fact that, quite frankly, his entire radio persona, which I had to participate in to pretend for this gig, is actually really a combination of just O&A talk.
Oh, yeah.
You guys know what I'm talking about. And
Sure.
as I was pointing out in the chat to Andrew recently, because it just dawned on me when it came through on my YouTube scroll, I was listening to old radio guys.
Mm-hmm.
I'd listened to some Art Bell while I worked night shift. I was driving around in the middle of the night, listening to Art Bell. It scrolled over to some Don and Mike, because I like Don and Mike. And then it went to Tom Likas from Los Angeles. And if you listen to old Tom Likas, who was in Los Angeles in the 80s and 90s, and you listen to Likas 101, his theories about how you should never get married, you should never be in a relationship with a woman, you should never live with a woman, you should never make children, you are hearing Neely fucking speak. So now I put it together that his whole radio shtick and his whole life thing has been built upon two O&A and Tom Likas.
Yeah, it's no different, I think, than like all the second and third tier Stern hacks, like the man cow. I think his whole act was basically ripped off from Stern. And then they try, they're doing the exact same thing that happened with Stern with Trunk. If you recall, Mancow wanted to go to war with Stern, and
Stern was
just
like, who's Mancow?
Who's this guy?
Let this guy go broadcast in Florida or wherever he is.
And the only difference with Trunk versus them, or I guess them versus themselves, because Trunk didn't engage, is the fact that Trunk's like, he didn't even acknowledge him, where at least Stern acknowledged him for a bit. Same with like Opie and Anthony. I think that's what boosted their popularity a little bit, is the fact that Stern engaged them. So
yeah, absolutely, because Stern was the king of the mountain. And but for us in analyzing Neely's timeline, because this audio, this treasure trove that YouTube gave back to us, which they had taken away the last couple of years, proves that his time when he left Ohio, Chicago, and went to the West, to Los Angeles, if you look at that timeline when he has all those spotty relationships, I'm telling you, man, as someone from Northern California, during that time frame, one of the top radio guys in Los Angeles that Neely would have been listening to while he's driving truck or working in the truck yard or working as a mechanic and supervising mechanics is Tom Likas. He's on the LA radio station, one of the top radio guys. And if you listen to that nonsense, because that guy's a fucking fraud. That guy's a fat tubble-lard piece of crap, acting like he can get Los Angeles 10s when he couldn't get a fucking Chicago fucking 3, dude. So come on, bro. It was radio shtick, but Neely bought into it because that showed. And he, just like I was telling Andrew, he probably thought Don Imus was a cowboy because he wore a cowboy hat. Right, motherfucker ain't nothing to do with being a cowboy. So radio guys in those days could hide behind a microphone and pull some shtick over people, pull the wool over people's eyes, and people like Neely, that guy is cool. I like the way he's getting tens and never getting married and having to settle down. And I'm telling you, at some point, I'm going to A and B it, because there's some lines that Tom says that I have heard Neely say almost verbatim on the CMS. So I'm going to play them both so you can see how similar this thought process is. It's just a fraud. He's a fraud.
He's a clown. He's a fucking
so
clown.
In last night's CMS show, we also though broke some other news that we should wrap up here, ladies and gentlemen, and put some. We're just going to say allegedly, possibly, my opinion, reading tea leaves. But Aiken is admitting to having to go back to work 8 to 10 hours a day for a real job. So that's why he's canned the gig with Eric on the Cap and all his other production for the other things. He did say he was going to continue with the CMS, the Crunch podcast, the soccer podcast, and apparently, running Pinball PA or keeping that going. Right. But didn't say what the job was, just said it was legitimate work to help make sure he gets the house payment, which I'm not knocking. Hey, times could be tough for people and you got to do what you got to do. So go knock there. I'm just curious as what is the gig? You're kind of like dancing around, not wanting to tell us. You just be like, it was IT work, to say IT work. If it was more soccer work or whatever, but there's something going on there.
What if it's door dashing?
Possibly. Well, with the car, well, he did have to do the car repairs, and that now this has led me and Andrew to speculate, as we did last night, is he having to get the $1,600 in car repairs to make that drive from Ohio to Pennsylvania to supervise whatever was going on over there?
Right.
Because we all know that a couple of weeks ago there was cops. A couple of weeks ago there was kids moving from. Don't know. I don't really care. It's his personal life. Not trying to get in that. I'm just wondering, is that why you're getting the car fixed so you could drive to Pinball PA and commute? Or is it just seemed odd? Because as a guy who doesn't, he admitted he only drives 5 or 6 times a year. Right. Now he's going places. Where is he going? So either way, we hope that he can figure that out. It shouldn't affect the CMS per se, but, who knows if that job schedule changed. Neely might find himself on the, hey, buddy, I can't be here on Saturday night for 6 hours. At last night,
Right.
they went to 4 segments, ladies
Yep.
and gentlemen. What have we
Right.
been telling you?
And they've
Cut the
been
show
doing that
down.
slowly but surely. They're kind of wheeling out the 4 versus the 5, right? They used to do 5,
Yep.
I think. Um,
Yes.
and they get, I guess you can give them a little bit of credit. They are doing more music related stuff, but it's just not working.
And the stories they pick and the paths they go down,
Yeah.
like some of them are kind of obvious, and I don't even need, like he was talking about Megadeth last night. Okay, well, I've listened to all the new Megadeth stuff, and it's not
Hmm.
bad. It's musically actually pretty badass.
Hmm.
Lyrically, I agree with him. It's pretty juvenile. But I also heard an interview with Dave where he mentioned I was trying to kind of go retro with some
Back,
of the
yeah,
lyrics and the feelings of the way
back to
the
the old
lyrically and
school.
adult, yeah. And so if you get that, well, then that kind of fits more with what was going on with back in P cells and all the. So
Hmm.
I don't know. I don't need Aiken to break that down and tell me he doesn't like the lyrics. Okay, if you don't, then move on, dude. But I don't think your opinions gonna have any bearing on Mustaine and them doing their tour and their album and what they're doing. It's like,
Right.
so I don't know. I guess what I'm saying is I don't. I've always enjoyed most of the lyrical content of Mustaine's. There have been certain songs. I mean, like when we
Hmm.
went back to Skin of My Teeth and things
Right.
like that. The lyrics are not his most masterful work, if you
Right.
understand what I'm saying.
No.
Now, if we went to I don't know, anything really off, in my opinion, Rust in Peace has much more lyrical,
Yeah.
Holy Wars, right? It has a
Hmm.
lyrical about what we're talking about, subject matter wise. But I'm just saying, so like you take the good and the bad with Megadeth. You know that there's certain
Right.
songs that are going to have, but the music is always going to kick you in the teeth and kick you in
Right.
the butt. And Dave always delivers that. That's what I didn't understand. If they would just shut up about the lyrics and just listen to the riffage, him and the new guitar player are shredding. So I don't know. I got no complaints
Right.
about that.
Right.
I thought that I would feel weird about I don't Junior, but James, I don't know. I'm not I'm not really noticing something, I guess, there. For me, Dirk and
Right.
James are pretty
Yeah.
fucking badass. So
Yeah. Yeah,
I
and
don't
and
know.
he's been in the band before and recorded albums too. So I mean, it's just I don't know. I
Yeah, they
mean,
know
I
what they're
think
doing.
that he hasn't had turnover on bass. He's only had three
This
bass
whole
players
time. Yeah.
in the
Yep.
in the band. And in
Yep.
fact, one of them was oh shit, I forget. He used to be in Iced Earth, McDonough. Yeah, but anyways,
James
that
McDonough.
yeah, James, oh fucking great
Yeah.
bass player.
Hmm.
And then he
Hmm.
just kind of dropped out of the face of the earth. He hasn't done anything since getting shit canned from Megadeth. But
Yeah.
that guy was a good fit, I thought.
Hmm. Yeah. And so my point is, I just kind of like, I don't know, rehashing that to me was, and then they always, go on and on about people's performance abilities, what they can or can't do. And yet, again, like to me, it's like the
Yeah.
elephant in the room is that Don Dawkins sitting right
Right.
over here, and you're going to
Yeah.
hang out with him every
Yeah.
couple of weeks,
Yeah.
and he's on stage moaning and groaning in a chair, pissing himself,
Yeah.
and you're not saying shit about that.
Right. Right.
Weird.
But
That's a
yeah,
weird
that is bizarre. And
dichotomy.
yeah, and again, a lot of white knight stuff with the CMS crowd.
Hmm. Yep.
That's just kind of the way they roll. But I mean,
Yeah. So, that's where it was at. Now I listened to a bit more later, and there was some other
right.
nonsense going on there. But it gets to the point where it's like, we can go on and on about their TV watching. They were talking
Right.
about news
Right.
stories again. I mean, you
Yeah.
got Neely badly reading things. We
Yeah.
got Chris's commercials again.
Yeah.
Our other
Yeah.
friend in the other chat group, who I'll just leave out of it, even posted the
Yeah.
rating of that thing that was
Yeah.
just so horrible. I was like,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah.
So I don't know,
It,
guys.
it's like they're
The good news, they are cutting the show back, like you said.
yeah.
In some way, they're getting the message, and it was slowly going. I think that's Aiken pressing that agenda.
Yeah.
Hopefully, by Aiken
It
getting the
should
9 to
really be
5
3 hours though. I mean, 3 hours would be
two and a
or
half,
two,
yeah.
two, two
Two
no
hours of
music
talking an hour, or 2 hours of talking an hour of the tunes to break up the hour
or
of the talk
yeah
or whatever. Yeah, so
Aiken could just do the first two and then give DJ Neely to do the other two with those knuckleheads in the chat room, jerking each
That's what
other off
yeah.
over
That could yeah.
over
And
hearing the
I know why
requests.
he's doing that, because that keeps his little minions happy
Yeah.
if he throws them a
Yeah.
couple of specks of something. So, let Evil produce the show further. Wendell, I know you're watching this, so
Right.
we've pretty much figured that out. So, Wendell, how about this? 20 minutes of songs. You come on and talk to Aiken
Yeah.
for an hour.
Right.
20 more minutes of songs to give Aiken a break and process and piss and get something to drink. And then you come back for an hour or more of talking, and then 20 minutes of songs to end the
Right.
show. And you have 3 hours of entertainment, and
Right.
no one got hurt, and we cut it down and got some music in there, but not too much. For me, the music breaks go long. After a while, I'm like, are they coming back? We're like 35 minutes deep on songs.
Right.
So
Yeah.
cut it to 15 or 20. Play 3 songs, maybe 4 songs
Yeah.
tops. So
Yeah, it's crazy. And I think how much CMS talk was there on the Trunk Nation, you think? That up until like when we started being on there regularly on the
That's a good question.
uncensored
Yeah.
Trunk Nation.
Yeah, I don't that's tough. Not much. I mean, I don't know. I never really saw as much. I mean, I'm
No,
trying to
but
think
you're
back in my
starting to
mind.
see
Yeah, I
it.
don't know.
You're starting
Yeah,
to
you
see
see
some
little,
of it, and I'll
yeah.
show you. And this one
And I've
was
been
interesting.
listening. I've been listening to a lot of Trunk lately. I found a particular YouTube guy who keeps covertly
Oh yeah,
transferring all of his Sirius right onto YouTube for me, which makes it convenient.
right.
So let's go. Let's check this out. Yeah.
But this is interesting because this guy's saying, and this is Jim Smith. He goes, listening to Classic Metal Show from a couple weeks ago, and a couple standout moments. One, they name dropped our own Tim James, and then two, one of their listeners calls themselves for Hetty Trunk. But here's what's interesting: Tim James didn't acknowledge that that's really him.
Hmm. Was
I think
that not?
what he's
Is that really? That's not the same guy, though, is it?
I don't know. I think it is. Yeah, this is Tim James. This is
No,
the
that's
Tim
not. That's
James.
not. That's not his profile picture.
But it is.
It is.
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
When
he's
I
been
look,
using
there's a
it.
picture of him playing keyboards.
I think he's got two profiles, is what I'm saying.
He's
But
got
then-
a burner. Tim,
Yeah, he's
you
got
have
a burner account. But he says, no,
Okay.
it's not the same Tim James from the Classic Metal Show. He goes, I had my name long before that. And yes, there is a For Hetty Trunk from the Classic Metal Show. So congrats to him for acknowledging Eddie Trunk's bullshit.
So we're gonna. Well, I think I was gonna reach out to him anyways, because I was chatting with Kendall, and I'm trying
Right.
to find a few people that can maybe do like either an end of the year recap or beginning of next
Right.
year. We talk about what we liked in 25 or whatever, musically speaking, band wise.
Right.
Maybe a top 5 music releases or something we were spinning, but. So we have to get him on and say, hey, is that really you? Is that your burner account? Because when I chat with him, I got a whole different profile picture. So I must be a different, we must have multiple profiles,
I
which
think
is
he's
not
got a
uncommon,
couple.
ladies and
I think he's
gentlemen.
got a couple.
I'm manning the CMS Wrap Up Show Facebook page as well as the Evil Keneally, so it can happen. But yeah, on that note, I've been listening to a lot of Eddie Trunk, and I'm sorry, but even evil is an evil bastard, and I'm gonna fire my gun all directions. I'm like a Wild West cowboy. There's no right or wrong for me. Everyone's fair game, and if you stand in my way, I'm probably gonna shoot you down. So. My thing with Eddie is that the I, me, mine, me drops is just obscene. I mean,
Right.
there are times where this
Right.
guy is glazing himself so effing hard. I'm like, does he have lube under the table while he's doing this? Because he is just fucking going on. Like, he comes up with things that should have nothing to do with him and goes, but I saw that guy
Yeah.
2 weeks ago. I'm like, dude,
Yeah.
okay, you were talking on stage at an event and you seen him in the crowd or backstage at the fucking buffet line. But I mean, like, it's just bad. It makes it hard to listen to, Mr. Trunk. I know you're not hearing me because you don't watch this, but seriously,
Yeah.
someone needs to rein him in his hair and say, dude, just stop that. That's the one cringy thing. There's a lot of good material. He talks about a lot of stuff. He was going on and on a week or two ago about that Billboard Top 50, and I agree with him. How the fuck Sleater Kinney and these bands are on this list, so it have nothing to do with rock music. It makes my mind spin too, Eddie. But he always finds a way to interject himself into every single thing.
Right.
It's just like, dude, some of it, we just know You have nothing to do with it. Just pipe down there, pal. Just read the news.
Right.
Don't toot
Yeah.
your own horn so much.
So here, and here's the thing that's weird. I mean, again, I think Neely tries to do the same thing to a certain degree on a farm team type level because he's done it all. He's you say something and he'll have something related to the topic, but then we'll always weave it back to Dawkins or Chicago.
Yeah.
It's just the way he is, predictable prick. But I think with Ed, at first I thought he might be having like some kind of how would we say, like some kind of a disorder of some sort where he couldn't help himself. But it seems like over time he's gotten worse. So I mean, I think with something like that, it's like I think his ego is just. I mean, I think he's got this false humility. I think with Ed.
There is a little bit
Yeah.
of that, and I think there's a little percentage of he feels like he doesn't get his credit. And
Right.
I'm like,
Right.
you're the top rock radio DJ, dude. Like,
Right.
what more credit do you want? Like, you
Yeah.
get you want Frank Cannon to call up, he called up. You want this guy to call up, he called up. You get these guys on the line, and a lot of other people can't get on the line. So,
Mhm.
what more do you want to be, Ed? What are you asking for? You think you should be in the
Right.
fucking Rock and Roll Hall of Fame yourself or something? I
Well,
mean, because you
and
signed Ace Frehley.
and that is what's bizarre about that is because he always rails on them, but yet he's a voter. And if he really was going to shit on it, just don't fucking vote. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'd be like, yeah, I'm not interested. But
Yeah.
then there he finds himself getting all worked up about who the nominees are. And then he does his yearly uh, on-air ballot, where I think he takes a poll of kind of what the listeners are saying, and then he uses that as his determining factor as to who he's going to vote for. I mean, the whole thing is just lame.
Yeah, I would. The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is a sham. That's just the truth. And
Mhm.
there's a bunch of people in there that shouldn't be because they're not rock and roll in any way, shape, or form. And I'm not knocking them for their kinds of music. I'm saying there should be a separate Hall of Fame for the rap and then whatever, or I don't know, make some other kind of general genre names, 2 or 3, and make their own things. Because I don't think anyone. There's some artists again. I think didn't Dolly Parton get in the Rock and Roll Hall
Yep.
of Fame?
Yep. And
What
the
the fuck?
same and Judas
No
Priest got in
one
there, but not as
as a
not as a
legit.
yeah, not as a
Yeah.
legit.
And if
That
it's a
was just
Rock and Roll
bizarre
Hall of
to me.
Fame that it does not have Iron Maiden, then I don't know. Are we
Well,
talking
think
about the
about
same
this.
kind of
I
rock
mean,
music?
they don't even have Motley Crue in there, and they
No.
were a legit band for a few records
You
until
got
they
Guns, but not Motley.
yeah,
How does
but
that
not
work?
Motley.
I'm sorry, and
Yeah,
I'm a Guns fan, but Motley
and
was
and guess
first.
what? No Def Leppard in there either.
Yeah,
I think. Yeah.
ridiculous. Come on, they cross over. They're not even just.
Right.
I was telling Andrew last
Yeah.
night. They're pop rock, so they
Right.
should be able to get
Sure.
into more than one thing. So I don't know. That's a sham. I had a ex girlfriend years ago. I'll take you. My family lives outside of whatever, which by the way was my
Mhm.
indication that this relationship's not going to last because I found out she was from Ohio. But she said, I'm going to take you back there sometime when we visit my family. I'll take you to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And I said, I'd have no interest in like 75% of what's in
Yeah,
the
no
building.
shit.
So that would be a
Right.
really short tour of the 20%
Mhm.
that I would want to see. And quite
Right.
frankly, we better off just going to the Hendrix Museum in Seattle. At least it has cool shit that's actually rock related that I might want to see for far less money
Right.
and far less
Yeah,
expenditure.
right. Yeah.
But yeah, and
Yeah.
closer to my side of the world. So
Sure.
I'm not interested in cornfields and then looking at the fucking Diana Ross's dress or something. Whatever they have in that building, it has nothing to do with. So, yeah, I can't remember where I was going with all that. But the point, Ed. So then he would say, yeah, he rails up. But the Billboard thing, when he was going on about that, I totally agree. And it got me to thinking
Right.
about it. Because if you really started naming the greatest rock bands,
Mm-hmm.
and that genre could be, again, I can understand why it's a kind of a loose term there. It's not just speaking of metal or just like, again, I
Sure.
think a Fleetwood Mac would classify technically as a rock band because they have guitar playing and drums and all. But are they truly a rock band? But in my opinion, if you're going to say that general
Right.
term, it would be in my top 10 or top 20 rock bands of all time based on albums sold, concert revenue, history of the band. I mean, on and on and on. So, it's weird when you get into that. Ed did make me think about that. There's like people in there that you would have to say, like Bruce Springsteen, E Street Band is technically a rock band,
Right.
and so that would be, he would probably be in your top 50 somewhere, right? So, but there was ones they didn't have Kiss. How the hell is Kiss not in your top 50 rock bands of all time?
Right.
What?
Was
Well,
Ted
we got
Nugent in
Sleater
there?
Kinney. We got Sleater. No, of course
No
not.
Ted Nugent.
No, we got Sleater Kinney. Sleater Kinney is somehow
Yeah,
in
right.
there. No,
Oh, boy.
Gene Simmons and Paul Stanley can't get a look, but Sleater Kinney can. They were
Right.
better. Yeah, right.
Yeah, they're better.
But this is the kind of thing that you could expect from a Billboard or a Rolling Stone or even the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, is that they're going to go like Booker T and the MGs, but not Iron Maiden or Kiss. Like, what? So it's a joke. That's why I know those things really matter to me. Listening to Ed rail on it was kind of interesting because he gets all shrill about some of these things. How could you have and not have it? I mean, he's just, he really gets impassioned about it. So. But he is going to get it this way. I am going to make a compilation. It'll probably be 2 to 4 minute of some good clips of him visually to go with some I, me, mine, me, I saw, I did, I introduced, I made, because I could just take a couple of this guy's more recent radio shows and just get a ton of him just glazing himself. And so I'm going to Eddie Trunk glazing himself compilation just for Ed. And we'll post it in the group.
Yeah. And we need to do a Neely glazing himself. I mean, that guy's a fucking vomit.
Like I said, he's going to get a full comparison into Tom Likas, and everyone's going to realize that Tom Likas is Wendell. Dayton might not be Wendell's dad. Tom Likas might be Wendell's dad.
Oh, that's fucking great. Yeah, but you knew he was a fraud. Because he tries to use all these articulate words, but then it doesn't come out in the storytelling. Like he tells you a story like your low IQ uncle is trying to tell you like this.
Starts enunciating his words and all that stuff. He does.
Yeah. Oh,
he's a mess.
Yeah, he is.
But we've now learned that, and this is where, I'm sorry, Eddie Trunk, Howard Stern, all these old guys, O&As of the world, even the Wendells, the Tom Likases. This is why Don and Mike just pretty much can't even exist anymore. I think Mike O'Mara has a podcast out there somewhere, but it's like all the other podcasts, just a regular podcast. The internet, 2025 technologies exposed all of y'all. If you look like dog shit, we can now see that. And no matter how good your voice was and how ugly you are, we don't want to see it. So you're gonna that's gonna drop the ratings right there.
Right.
And those days when they could hide behind the mic and present a shtick, and now me and Andrew were talking about, it's very obvious to us why Georgetta wouldn't want Aiken on this goddamn show with Wendell every Saturday night. It's tying up her Saturday night with her husband.
Yeah. Right.
He turns into some moronic radio shtick loser that's not really the real guy.
Yeah, right.
He starts ranting and raving about women and race and this and that, and it probably brings all kinds of shit to her and the family off air. And these two guys get together and just start feeding off each other with this what is essentially a completely fabricated, fraudulent bullshit radio shtick. I'm just telling you.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, because Wendell is not as cool as he seems. No. He doesn't get the chicks that he seems. He doesn't know what he thinks he knows about rock music. Everything he's preaching about relationships and everything like I said is actually coming from the brain of fucking this other guy, which it just dawned on me. I was listening to. I was like, holy shit, this is
it's
Wendell
him
speaking these words. Yeah. And then when I put it together, oh wait, he's from Los Angeles, and that would have been like 89, 90, 95. That's prime Tom Likas. I mean, he was on my radio waves in Northern California, so I'm sure Neely was eating it up. But he's a radiophile kind of guy. He admits to it. So and then with Aiken, I was telling Andrew, think about this.
Yeah.
He talks like he's so tough.
Oh, yeah.
How could a 400 and something? We saw the side profile at the Drake wedding. How could that be tough, dude? I mean, again, I told Andrew, all you got to do is stick and jab like Muhammad Ali for about 2 or 3 minutes, and this guy is going to be just completely out of wind, and you're just going to take advantage and pummel the poor guy.
I think I've said you just sweep his legs. I mean, get him right in the knees, and he's done.
Boom. Yep. Yeah. And so then I'm thinking about, okay, so when he's talking like this, like he would just at the bar or whatever, this is talking back in his military days.
Sure.
pre-burn, pre-accident.
30
So
years ago.
Yeah. So everything on that, if you think about it, is a fraudulent radio shtick. He's
Or
presenting it to
35
you
years
like,
ago.
like he's going to go down to the, the Iron Horse tonight and hit the bar and take out a couple
Right.
of good old boys. But that's just not the
No
case.
way.
It hasn't been the case probably for 20 plus years since the accident, I'm going to guess. And so,
Yeah. I mean, that
eh,
mentality is all well and good until you run into some guy that's a um, what do you call it? Amateur MMA guy.
yeah. Or so people sometimes think, because I say things sometimes that throw people off, and recently I made a comment on the internet. And I'm not going to lie about this. Go straight out and say it. I don't understand this mentality from all of the. I'm going to assume there's hundreds, if not thousands, of victims of these Epstein people. How one dad in the entire world didn't fucking say who did what to my kid, where.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be back in a few hours, and then all of a sudden there's guys in the street.
Right.
I'm just being real. And then people are like, you would never do that. People don't do that. And I'm like, have you ever heard of Gary Plauché in Louisiana, who waited for his son's molester to get off the plane and went ba-bang? Yeah, there are dudes. And Cain Vasquez recently here in San Jose, California, the MMA guy found out someone was molesting his kid. And what did he do? He rolled up on him with a gun and went like that and filled their car full of lead. And both of these guys have got 3 or 4 years. Why? Because they walked in and said, the motherfucker molested my kid.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So yes, there is men out there who will actually put their kids first and don't give a shit about going behind a cell if that's what it takes to remove the piece of shit that's out there damaging other kids.
Right.
So I was asking the question, how could no one of these Epstein, they're like, well, they didn't know, or he's hiding behind. And I'm like, this guy goes to me, he's hiding behind bodyguards. You can't get to it. I'm like, did that protect the president from taking one across the ear?
Yeah.
If old Crooks, who's 21, can pull it off, you don't think a determined father can find a way to get to Epstein when he was roaming around New York City streets one night and say, hey, is that you, Jeff? Bang, bang, bang. Yeah, right, dude. Secret Service can't protect these people. What do you think this guy's going to be? So all it takes is I'm just surprised he either paid these people off or he 100% got kids overseas that the parents couldn't get back overseas to get to their kids. Either way, this should be investigated by the FBI. And I'm just saying. And then I had some guy come out and go, well, what would you do? You're just talking bluff. Let me just say this to everybody out there. What you don't know about evil. In my real life, outside of music and all these other things, I've worked in the security industry for over 20 years. I'm the guy that, like I said, shows up and kicks you out, beats you, whatever I got to do. It's a protection detail. I want to protect my asset. If it's protecting a club or a bar, I'm doing that. Or in times, I was on patrol as an armed security guard in certain cities in California, and I walked right up and threw cuffs on people, dumped them on their ass, and arrested them, and they went to jail. I had to go to court and testify, and I made sure they went to prison. So fuck with me, dude. You're going to, anyone out there saying I don't back it up, I got 2 rapists. 2 in the act while I was on patrol, brother. Pulled around the corner. A woman's in the bushes screaming help. And when I hit the spotlight, I got 2 parolees looking like Charles Manson going to town on her with no clothes. I chased one down and beat the fucking shit out of him. And when the other one turned to get it some, I tased that motherfucker and got him down on the ground, handcuffed both, called the PD, had to go through 6 months of trials to make sure they went to prison. One of them's a 3rd striker. Guess where he's in? Prison for life. For his 3rd strike, because I went to the stand like this and testified to what I saw in the bushes. She's a nurse. She's not a prostitute. She met this guy at the bar. He took her out of the bar and raped her in the bushes. And I happened to be coming out of the fast food drive-thru in the middle of the night with my window down and said, why am I hearing a woman screaming help? That's why. Yeah. And I jumped in. So don't come to me and say, what am I going to do? I'm the motherfucker who will jump out every single time, whether I get capped, shot, beat, whatever. I don't care. I'm it, dude. I'm the guy you're going to see in the alley who's going to stomp you into the fucking ground. Straight up. I don't care. Like, I'm saying this to everybody out there. This is not a fraud or a front. This is, because I got to be a Neely. But when you meet me in the streets, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not the kind of guy who's going to say something I'm not willing to do. And I'm just telling you right now, if some motherfucker like an Epstein molested my kids, there's going to be a fucking shootout all over the news. Straight up. There's going to be headlines made and me either dead or in a cell. I'm just telling you, I'm not waiting for Lady Justice because clearly Lady Justice ain't showing up. So there's other dads like me out there who ain't tolerating it anymore. And this whole digital thing is going to start proving all of it. All of you are seeing it. And so, sometimes when I go on these rants about these rumors about some of these guys in the music business being sicko fucks too, that's why I want to stomp them out. You're useless. You used your position as a musician to abuse people. Well, guys like me are going to show up and kick you in the nuts and punch you in the fucking teeth to get the fuck off the stage. I'm sick of it. So, anyways, Don Dawkins, fucking bullshit you pull.
Right.
So, talking shit and doing all the shit you've done, shitting on people, shitting on your own band members, shitting on your fans. I don't care what
Right.
Neely says, dude.
Yeah.
It's proof. You could watch the interviews and see the guy spouting lies. So,
Well, remember Mikey, the Freemason, said he's a good person.
he might be, Mikey. Maybe in his heart
To
of heart
him,
he is.
to
But
him.
yeah, but when he shits on George and Jeff and Mick and lies, and we can
Right.
prove it with other, we can, A and B things and realize this is not adding up on Don's side. And hey, he's an old man. Let him do what he wants to do. I'm not, whatever. But these other people out there, y'all, this is why Ronnie Radke's out there calling you to the table, some of you motherfuckers, okay? Because you don't care no more. The internet's going to prove at some point in time with video, emails, receipts, that you're a fucking joke. You're a piece of trash. And I don't care what they said about yes or no, or he never even made a statement. But if Mr. Brent Woods is cavorting around with 16-year-old girls on cruise ships, that's weird. It's weird, people. I don't care. Call him out. Get him out. Say, what are you doing? At least make him think. What are you doing, dude? You're a guitar player in a band. Go ahead. Your mic's off.
Yeah, but no, I mean, I'm thinking that Brent Woods thing kind of disappeared real quick.
Yeah. And because it came down to the bottom line, is Radke said the chick's either got to come out and make her own statements and do her, which I think she did put a statement out there, but she never got on a camera or would go on the line and say something like that, which I'm sure was lawyer advice. If she's aspiring to be a musician in LA, she doesn't want to go brand. But I'm not, and I don't care. And I'm just saying, even if you didn't do anything, you put yourself in a position to be accused of it, bro. We don't do that. Real men look at it and go, I might be accused of something in this weird. I'm not going to go do that. I'm not going to be seen with this person in this situation, or I'll be seen with this person who's 16 on the cruise ship with 20 other people, right? In a group. So there's no weird accusations later. Come on, just think. So some of these guys aren't thinking clearly about the things they say. Gene Simmons with your stupid fucking comments. Sometimes you're not thinking, dude. Shut the fuck up. Come on.
Yeah. No.
So I'm just saying, dude, there's all and it's full of it. The world, this is the best part though. And this is where I feel comfortable knowing this will prove it all in due time. Technology will make it so you all cannot hide behind the bullshit any longer. What you really are will be exposed. If there's receipts to be proven that you're a piece of trash, you're going to get called out.
Yeah.
So, and if you don't, and that's a minimum, as you know, there's ones right now who are going to be facing eventually FBI investigations and law enforcement coming knocking on your door. If someone said you did what with whose kid, how, when, why? I'm just saying these, you can't be a lurker. You can't be a creeper. It's over, dude. The Chris Hansons of the world are coming to your door and interviewing you when they catch you in your stupid chats.
Right.
So these guys are dumb. They're dumb. So it's never going to end too, Ruben. The cameras, there's going to be more and more cameras on every corner and everything, every way they can surveil you. So as we know, when they do these shootings, how are they catching these guys? The digital evidence, the cell phone pinged off the tower, the lady's doorbell camera caught him over there, the street camera caught him over here, and now he's fucked. Yeah. So give it up, guys. Your best bet is to pull the Gary Glitter and just get the fuck out.
Oh yeah.
Just go off to Cambodia where there's no jungle, there's no camera. If you really want to be a piece of trash, that's going to be your only option, because if you're going to be in civilized society in England and America and these places, you're going to get caught, dude. So. And they keep thinking, the boomers keep thinking, well, I shouldn't do that. A statute of limitations. And, dude, no, some of that can only apply to certain laws and regulations in certain jurisdictions. And sometimes you're still going to get yourself ensnared if that's what you're up to. So dumb. Yeah.
Oh, well.
And which is the news is full of that, by the way. So the Epstein pictures keep getting weirder and weirder.
Yeah.
I mean, stranger and stranger. So, and that goes, and that's a nonpartisan statement, ladies and gentlemen, because I know some of you in the CMS are going to come at me and say, you're for Trump, or, for Biden or whatever. How about this? I think what the Epstein pictures have proven is that they're all in there, and Mick Jagger is in there, and Michael Jackson's in there. And I don't know who wants to get on a plane with Bill Clinton, Michael Jackson, Diana Ross, and those kids, but whatever. That's a weird combo, bro. You're asking for some weird things to go down just by even being in the same room as those three. So Let's get back to music, though. What do we got? There's a lot of things that have been popping off and happening. We got Bob Leather wants me to make sure on today's segment that we talk about
About Trickster or the Bon Jovi tribute band.
no, his latest rants and raves has been about Bruce Kulick. And he has some very interesting opinions and thoughts about the Bruce Kulick look and where he's going with it. So I'm going to try to find it here. I'm pretty sure. So he said, I told him we were going to be doing some funny business on the show. He said, I love funny business. Maybe crowbar in something about Kulick, his COCK area, jet black pubic hair, and Hanes white panties with piss stains like a regular old man. He always gets into their underwear. He wants to know what kind of underwear these people got on.
Yeah.
Then I realize he has posted on the Trunk Nation page on Facebook his comment. This is just 3 hours ago. Anyone hear the accidental open mic during the Bruce Kulick segment near the end? Okay. And people think he's being legitimate.
Yeah.
Start asking, what open mic? What are you talking about? And he says, friggin' gross. They must have taken it out in the replay, but he mentioned his thighs with some black leg and pubic hair, thin and a bit saggy, and then up to his nuts. And he took off his white piss-stained Walmart underwear while he told sick boy tales of multiple co-writes on the Kiss grunge record. So yes, and I did make the comment that he must have been thinking about, Bruce, what mine was him strumming Jungle while his pube fro shows is quite a scene.
Oh man.
So I don't know what his recent rant about. He's really got some feelings about Bruce Kulick and his hair, and he says he loves Kulick. He does, but he has some questions about the hair and the way it's looking and what's going on.
I wonder what he'd say about this. I don't know if you can see it. Can you see it?
Your screen. Let's see.
Oh.
It's loading. I see your. I see Eddie Van Halen background.
Maybe
see what you're.
Maybe it didn't load. Let me try again. It's good though. It's good. I think it's one of your creations actually. I think you're the one that did this. You're the one that did this. You kind of reminds me.
That was one of the Epstein photos that came out. Ladies and gentlemen,
like, what the hell's happening here? I mean,
the treasure trove. So in reality, this is clearly a Photoshop. This was the guy here standing up.
It is
up
of the era, though.
Yeah, but the guy standing up there is a producer of apparently some kind of major motion pictures, and he had some little Latin guy or something down here doing something. I don't know what he's doing, but it shows you. That's what I'm trying to say to you people. Like, this is not like a maybe or conspiracy or no. Hollywood is Holly weird. There's weird dudes doing weird shit down there, and they just go buck wild. And it's in the music, it's in the entertainment, and I'm sure the comedians got. Well, we know the comedians. Some of the comedians were making people sit in the corner while he takes his pants off, and J.O.'s or remember that guy. And, he was a pretty famous comedian. Was it Louis C.K., right?
Yeah.
So come on, you're doing weird shit, dude. These guys get away with it because no one calls them out. And that's why I'm always amazed. I must be the guy that they know is going to call them out. So they don't want to do this shit around me because I'd be like, put your fucking pants on. Bang, knock that motherfucker out. So they must just sense it when they're around people like me. I guess certain dudes being more alpha and very obvious are going to show you that we're not tolerating that, and it's going to come to some kind of a resolution, right or wrong, pretty quickly. But I can't believe that other people tolerate it. So I had my brief encounters in LA with my band, and a couple times I thought there was some weird stuff, but I just avoided it. I'm not going to go to that party. Thank you very much. Go back to my hotel room and hang out over there. So, but it's weird, man. And I'll be straight. It's not just Holly weird. This probably happens in the London, New York. These people with a lot of money, nothing to do, big egos, start indulging in and the more drugs they do and the lifestyles they leads to weirder and weirder shit. So, so I don't know. He's on a Kulick kick, but and I have for a while. Kulick's hair looks real. It's just weird because he dyes it so much. It's like burnt from the dye, I guess. Is what I guess he's doing, or something. Right. So,
And it is
Whereas-
thinning because I don't know if you
Yeah.
recall when he joined Grand Funk, he would always wear the bandana around his head, kind of like Axl Rose or whatever.
Yeah, a few times he even had a hat kind of turned around backwards and stuff or whatever. When those, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, when I saw him, he had some kind of a cap on, I believe. So with Grand Funk.
Yeah.
So yes, I did go see Grand Funk, ladies and gentlemen, with
Right.
Chris Kulik. It was at the
Yep.
California State Fair. So I had a couple of cocktails and made my way to the front row
Right.
for the American band and the little bit of that cowbell action that we all enjoy. But yeah, so but I'll tell you this: Grand Funk Railroad sounds way better than Don Dockin. Just saying, like I'd go see Grand Funk tomorrow and know that's going to actually sound vocally, and the show is going to look like Grand Funk. Whereas Dockin, I'm going to
it won't sound perfect, but it'll sound good.
Yes, it'll be professional, and they have a couple other singers to help the guys that can't quite do the singing. So it sound, but we got Don hasn't caught on to that yet. So
yeah,
poor guy. But anyway, so there we got a lot in the works here. Some of these segments are going to need some pre-production, is what it's going to require in the oncoming weeks. But with the holidays ahead, I'm going to have time on my hands to engage in some of these things and get in the studio and start making some of these things happen. We have, I'm not going to do it today, but we have, like we teased last night, unearthed the original recording of Steel Piston.
Steel Piston.
All of you in the CMS verse who haven't heard Neely's thunderous drum beats and the catchy.
It was a drum
tune.
machine, though.
I know. That's why I was going to wait till we actually dropped it on him.
No. I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but it sounded like the drum machine to me. It sounded, you know what it sounded like to me? It sounded like when they remixed the the Eliminator. No, not Eliminator. The ZZ Top 6-pack. Remember they took the original drums out and they put drum machines on there. And
yes, it has a very I think the reason why he likes NXS is because NXS's drummer always used the fucking triggers and this electric shit, and I think that's what Neely was doing.
Yeah.
Raise your